There are some names in the true crime world that send shivers down your spine. One of those names is Ted Bundy. His charm and intelligence were undeniable, making him one of the most infamous serial killers in American history. But beneath that attractive exterior lurked a darkness that would lead to the brutal murders of at least 30 young women. Born in 1946 in Burlington, Vermont, Bundy appeared to have a normal upbringing. However, his childhood was complicated. Raised by his grandparents, he didn't discover his true parentage until he was a teenager. This revelation left Bundy with a sense of abandonment and identity issues that would later play a significant role in his violent tendencies. Talk about family drama that takes a hard left turn. Bundy's early life was marked by a sense of isolation. He was introverted and struggled to fit in, but he also had an undeniable charisma. This duality made him incredibly dangerous. He knew how to manipulate people. He studied psychology, which gave him insights into human behavior, and it wasn't long before he began using those insights to lure his victims. In the early 1970s, Bundy began his killing spree. His method? He would often feign injury, using crutches or a sling to appear vulnerable. Women would naturally want to help him, making it easy for him to gain their trust. Once he had them isolated, the real nightmare would begin. His first confirmed victim was 18-year-old Karen Sparks, who was attacked in 1974. The violence escalated quickly, leading to a string of disappearances across several states. Bundy was a master of deception. He was able to blend in with society and elude law enforcement for years. Police had numerous sightings of him, yet he always seemed to slip through their fingers. It's baffling to think how someone could evade capture while committing such heinous acts. Bundy's charm and wit often led people to dismiss their suspicions about him. After all, who would suspect the handsome, well-spoken man of being a killer? As his crimes escalated, so did the brutality. He not only killed his victims, but also often returned to the crime scenes to engage in necrophilic acts. The sheer horror of Bundy's actions shocked the nation. In 1975, he was finally apprehended after a traffic stop revealed he was driving a stolen vehicle. But even in custody, Bundy remained a master manipulator. He would charm the police and even the media, using his intelligence to present himself as a misunderstood figure. The turning point came during his trial in 1979, which was the first in U.S. history to be televised. The nation was captivated. Bundy had a way of presenting himself that blurred the lines between victim and villain. He even represented himself in court, believing he could outsmart the system. As he spoke to the jury, you could almost forget the horror of his crimes, until you remembered the families of his victims sitting in the courtroom, their pain palpable. Bundy was eventually found guilty and sentenced to death. But even behind bars, he continued to manipulate those around him. He would confess to some of his crimes, even giving details about unsolved cases, hoping for a deal to avoid execution. His charm seemed to follow him everywhere, even as he faced the ultimate punishment for his heinous actions. In January 1989, Bundy was executed in Florida's electric chair. His last words were cryptic. "I'd like you to give my love to my family and friends." It's mind-boggling to think about how someone capable of such evil could still have the ability to express love. But that's the paradox of Bundy. He was a killer who was also a man capable of charm, intelligence, and even love. Bundy's life and crimes left an indelible mark on American culture. He inspired countless documentaries, books, and films. Sometimes, those who seem the most charming can hide the darkest secrets. Trust your instincts and always be aware of your surroundings. Thanks for joining us on this unsettling journey into the life of Ted Bundy. If you're fascinated by true crime stories and want to learn more about the psychology of serial killers, hit that like button and subscribe for more chilling tales. Have any thoughts on Bundy or other true crime cases you'd like us to explore? Drop a comment below. And remember, sometimes the person you least suspect can turn out to be the most dangerous. Stay safe out there.